So I watched Sandeep Reddy Vanga's Animal yesterday. Amidst the criticism and the praise the film is receiving, I thought of delving into the psyche of its leading and most controversial character Ranvijay Singh, played by Ranbir Kapoor. In this video, I am going to analyze the character of Ranvijay Singh from the film Animal. But before we get into the video, I want to tell you that this video contains spoilers. So forge ahead at your own risk. Ranvijay's obsession with his father. The film makes it pretty obvious from the beginning that Ranvijay Singh has daddy issues. His father is absent and negligent. We learn from his childhood that Ranvijay saw his father for the first time when he was in the third standard. Clearly, he did not have easy access to his father. When children don't get easy access to their parents, they tend to idealize them. This is evident in many famous characters in popular culture. For instance, Harry did not know his father at all and idealized him, not knowing the truth that his father was actually a bully in school. The same goes for Matt Reeves' Batman. Bruce Wayne idealized his father, seeking revenge for his father's death from every petty criminal, not knowing that his father was as corrupt as anyone in Gotham. Ranvijay too probably only heard stories about his father from the press, media, and other people, as he himself has never known who his father really is. Exalting his father in his eyes allows him to exalt himself in front of others. His high opinion of himself is a result of overcoming the smallness he felt for not receiving his father's attention and love. As he grew up, the persona of being able to do anything he wants comes not from his own accomplishments but because of the impression he had that his father is a great and powerful man. However, the only time he gets attention from his father is when he does something extreme. Thus, him going to his sister's college and open firing was not just an attempt to teach molesters a lesson, but also an attempt to get his father's attention, considering himself unworthy of being loved due to the lack of his father's love. He copes with low self esteem by over attaching himself to the great man persona of his father. That's why his father's life becomes so important for him. Saving his father literally means saving himself. The violence he has suffered from his father becomes a reward for him rather than a punishment because that is the only time he gets his father's attention. Ranvijay's proclivity towards violence. The only conversation he has with his father always results in his father either abusing him or shouting him down. In that sense, he understands love not through care but through abuse and extreme actions. This proclivity towards violence or extreme behavior extends to his lady love Gitanjali, played by Rashmika M. He expresses love not through small actions but through extreme emotions like having sex in a private plane while it is on autopilot or having sex with her in the outdoors. Ranvijay only understands and expresses himself in extreme ways because in his childhood that was the only way he got any attention and love. Ranvijay equates love with violence and relishes that violence because that's the only way he could feel the dopamine rush to his head. That is why even his dialogues are full of violent words and references to one's genitalia because talking like this is extreme and deviant behavior. But as in his childhood, he was only rewarded with his father's attentions while talking and being like this. Thus, for Ranvijay as an adult, trash talking becomes a norm. Ranvijay's misogyny. His attitude or supposed misogyny is another interesting aspect. When he is abused by his father, his mother is a silent witness and does nothing to protect him. When he looks for his father, the mother tells him a lie about his father. At an event, his brother in law insults him. His elder sister asks Ranvijay to apologize to him instead of siding with him or showing any empathy towards him. Thus, Ranvijay has managed to grow up without the emotional support of any woman, leading to him believing that a woman may not be that important for his emotional life. His mother did not dare to take him out of that household even when she knew the environment wasn't very conducive for her children's growth. Even his sister suffers because of an absent father as she married someone who also thought less of her. Children love their parents no matter what, even if they are abusive or absent. If the parents are present and loving, children understand love as being caring and present. If the parent is absent, children may think it is okay to love someone who does not attend to their needs. Children often carry these patterns into the adulthood and find partners who resemble these very behaviors of their parents. Both Ranvijay and his sister may have imbibed these patterns from their parents. His low opinion of women also meant that he underestimated them, which could have also led to his downfall. As with Zoya, played by Tripti Dimri, with whom he had an affair, turns out to be a snitch for the enemy. The reason for his misogyny towards women was that he appreciates women only when they can have some utility to him. Like he appreciates his wife Gitanjali for having a huge pelvis. For him, women are only for utilitarian purposes like having babies, and that is why he has fewer moral scruples when he is cheating on his wife. All the enemies of Ranvijay are just mirror images of him. His brother in law, his arch enemy Abrar, they all treat women like trash. Even in the scene when Ranvijay goes to his village to recruit his brothers for a life threatening job, none of them consult their wives or mother as to if it would be a right decision to make. It is as if the universe manga has created. There is a no place for a woman who can think, has intelligence, with whom men can seek counsel and advice. They all are passive characters, either obliging to each and every protagonist's needs or are just passive observers. I wish I could say that what manga has shown is just a screen reality, but the fact is that this is the reality of maybe most Indian households, regardless of the income levels. This film is a reminder of the extremely toxic environments in which men are raised in this country, where the fathers are absent and mothers are passive. His wife Gitanjali too allows him to make love to her when the plane is on autopilot, and out in the open, she clearly ignores how his risky behavior could put her privacy and life at risk. She even doesn't object when he kills almost 100 people. It is only when he sleeps with other women that she decides to leave him, clearly showing how passive female characters around him lead him to become a violence loving maniac. If in Kabir Singh the childhood of the protagonist was not shown, leaving critics and audiences wondering about the roots of the character's problematic behavior towards women, this film, however, almost overcompensates for it by showing us the childhood of the protagonist. The film provides justification for his violence and misogyny, making him into a hero and attempting to evoke sympathy from the audiences. It is not that one cannot sympathize with a character with the negative shades, but he has to be shown in a more objective light and not with a thumping background score which makes the audience root for him. For example, in the recent Batman movie, the Riddler is shown to be mentally deranged, and you do feel a certain sense of sympathy for him as well. However, the movie does not excuse the heinous things he has done. Similarly, in the Todd Phillips Joker, the film never hails the protagonist as completely a hero. Although the Joker film was criticized for the same reason Wanga is being criticized for, but still the mental illness of the Joker was highlighted and the violence he perpetuated was never glorified. But in Animal, you do not see any of this. Instead, the violence is justified and glorified only because of the protagonist's bad childhood. But could there be a different ending for Ranvijay and the film? What if Ranvijay had recognized the extremely toxic way in which he was raised? Instead of getting embroiled in family matters and business, what if he chooses to stay away, focusing more on his wife and children, the life he had chosen for himself? The film's main plot or conflict could have been Ranvijay's attempt to escape the toxic family in which he was raised, creating a separate identity independent of his father's family. This would have shown a positive progression for the character. However, in the actual plot, Ranvijay's descent into becoming an animal comes about by getting more involved in family matters, the troubles of which are not his but his father's and grandfather's creation. They made wrong decisions, trusted wrong people, ignoring Ranvijay's inputs as if he were some half-wit man. There was a film Shakti which came almost 20 years ago about a woman trying to save her only son from her husband's mafia family and how the mafia family did everything to prevent her from leaving. Animal could have been just that film. Anyways, I have rambled on enough here. Let me know if you also think that Ranvijay's character arc could have gone in another direction. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. Do subscribe to support this channel, like, share, and comment. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.